From the neon-lit streets of Waikiki to the world's biggest stadiums, from Elvis impersonations at age 4 to global superstardom. This is the story of Bruno Mars. Unfiltered, unmatched, unforgettable. He's more than a performer. He's a musical chameleon, a genre-blending genius, and a showman in the purest sense. This is the full journey of Peter Gene Hernandez, better known as Bruno Mars. Sit back and get ready for an in-depth, 2-hour journey into his life, legacy, and the secrets behind the music that made the world dance. Bruno Mars was born Peter Gene Hernandez on October 8, 1985, in the vibrant city of Honolulu, Hawaii. Raised in the Waikiki neighborhood, Peter was one of 6 children in a deeply musical family. His father, Peter Hernandez Sr., a percussionist from Brooklyn of Puerto Rican descent, and his mother, Bernadette Bernie San Pedro Bayot, a talented singer and hula dancer of Filipino and Spanish ancestry, laid the foundation for what would become a lifelong passion for performance. Growing up in such a dynamic household, music was everywhere. The family band, the Love Notes, performed regularly in local shows, and Peter quickly found himself at the center of the spotlight. By the age of 4, he was already a featured act as Little Elvis, performing Presley classics with uncanny charisma and confidence that defied his age. Clad in rhinestone-studded jumpsuits, he wowed crowds night after night. Bruno's exposure to 1950s rock, doo-wop, reggae, Motown, and funk from such a young age would go on to shape his unique musical blend. He was influenced by artists like Elvis Presley, the Isley Brothers, the Temptations, and more, absorbing stage presence, vocal styling, and musical diversity like a sponge. In school, Peter was both a popular kid and a standout performer. His classmates remember him bringing energy to every talent show. He appeared in the 1992 film Honeymoon in Vegas as a young Elvis, a moment that would mark his earliest mainstream media appearance. Family was the heartbeat of Bruno's early life and would continue to influence his musical themes and personal choices throughout his career. The Hernandez household was always filled with instruments, rehearsals, and shows. Music was the family language. Bruno's father introduced him to doo-wop and rock and roll, while his mother taught him rhythm and melody. Each of his siblings, Jaime, Presley, Tiara, Tahiti, and Eric, had musical inclinations. Eric, notably, would become Bruno's drummer. In 2013, tragedy struck when Bruno's beloved mother, Bernadette, died unexpectedly from a brain aneurysm at age 55. Her death deeply affected him and served as the emotional fuel behind many of his most vulnerable tracks, including When I Was Your Man. Bruno has credited his family's love and resilience with keeping him grounded. Despite massive fame, he's often seen spending time with his siblings and paying tribute to his parents, particularly in his stage performances. After graduating from high school in 2003, Bruno Mars made a bold and uncertain move to Los Angeles. With a suitcase full of dreams and only a few $100s, he was determined to break into the music industry. LA, a city full of aspiring artists, proved to be more challenging than he imagined. He faced rejection after rejection, struggling to find his place in a highly competitive industry. He spent years trying to get noticed, often playing small gigs and living in cramped apartments. At times, Bruno found himself nearly homeless and questioning his path. During this time, he turned to songwriting as a way to make ends meet. Bruno teamed up with songwriter Philip Lawrence and producer Ari Levine, forming a team that would later be known as the Smeezingtons. Together, they began crafting hits for other artists. Among the earliest credits were songs for Brandy, Sean Kingston, and Adam Levine. But it was their work on Flo Rida's Right Round and B.O.B.'s Nothing on You that got serious attention. Bruno co-wrote and sang the hook for Nothing on You, which became a massive hit and brought his voice to the mainstream. This breakthrough led to a record deal with Atlantic Records in 2009. After years of hardship, the door was finally open for Bruno Mars to step into the spotlight on his own. In 2010, Bruno Mars released his debut extended play, It's Better If You Don't Understand. It served as a teaser for what was to come. Later that year, he dropped his first full-length studio album, Doo-Wops and Hooligans. The world had never heard anything quite like it. The album's first single, Just the Way You Are, skyrocketed to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song, a heartfelt ode to authentic love, resonated across generations. Its success was quickly followed by the emotionally intense Grenade and the carefree anthem, The Lazy Song. Bruno's music stood out. Blending pop, reggae, funk, soul, and rock, his debut album had something for everyone. He brought back melodies and harmonies that felt nostalgic, yet fresh. With these early hits, Mars quickly became one of the most exciting new artists on the scene. His charisma, vocal range, and ability to craft catchy, meaningful songs made him an instant favorite for fans and critics alike. The album went multi-platinum and earned him a Grammy for Best Male Pop Vocal Performance. He wasn't just a one-hit wonder. Bruno had arrived, and he wasn't going anywhere. What makes Bruno Mars so special isn't just his voice. It's his unmatched ability to blend genres and eras. His musical influences are wide-ranging, and his discography reflects that diversity. He's often cited Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, Prince, James Brown, and The Police as key inspirations. His stage presence channels the energy of James Brown, the swagger of Prince, and the timeless charm of Elvis. Mars has a rare ability to take the best of vintage sounds and modernize them. From doo-wop to funk, reggae to hip-hop, he infuses his music with timeless flavor while still keeping it relevant. This genre-fluid approach is evident in tracks like Locked Out of Heaven, Treasure, and 24K Magic. Critics have lauded him for revitalizing live performance artistry in an era of auto-tune and overproduction. His live shows are full of raw vocals, synchronized dancing, and dazzling charisma. Through interviews and behind-the-scenes footage, Mars has shared how he studies artists like a scientist, dissecting performances to learn what makes them tick. It's this relentless pursuit of excellence that keeps him at the top of his game. Following the triumph of his debut, Bruno Mars delivered Unorthodox Jukebox in 2012, showcasing a bolder, more experimental side. The album included hits like Locked Out of Heaven, with its police-esque vibe, the piano ballad When I Was Your Man, and the seductive Gorilla. Unorthodox Jukebox debuted at #2 on the Billboard 200 and eventually climbed to #1. It won the Grammy for Best Pop Vocal Album and further cemented Bruno's place as a global superstar. In 2014, Mars was tapped to headline the Super Bowl LV80 halftime show. With over 115 million viewers, it was one of the most watched halftime performances in history. Joined by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Mars delivered a flawless, high-energy performance that thrilled audiences and critics alike. 2 years later, in 2016, Mars dropped 24K Magic, an album that brought the funk back to pop music. The title track, That's What I Like, and Finesse, featuring Cardi B, became massive radio staples. The album was a tribute to 1980s and 90s R&B, dripping with nostalgia and swagger. 24K Magic earned Bruno 7 Grammy Awards, including Album of the Year, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year. It was a clean sweep that solidified his place among music's elite. Then came Silk Sonic, his collaboration with Anderson .Paak. The duo released an evening with Silk Sonic in 2021, a smooth, retro soul project that delivered hits like Leave the Door Open and Smokin' Out the Window. The album was met with critical acclaim and commercial success, winning Grammy Awards and gaining praise for reviving 1970s soul with a modern twist. Bruno Mars had now successfully reinvented himself multiple times, with each reinvention topping the last. Bruno Mars's career has been punctuated by an array of prestigious awards and accolades. As of 2025, he has earned over 15 Grammy Awards, including Album of the Year, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year. His Grammy wins span across genres, highlighting his versatility. The 2018 Grammy Awards were a historic moment for Bruno, as he swept the major categories with 24K Magic. His acceptance speeches were filled with humility, often dedicating his wins to the team around him and his fans across the globe. He's also collected numerous American Music Awards, MTV Video Music Awards, BET Awards, and Brit Awards. Billboard named him Artist of the Year, and Time magazine featured him in their list of the 100 most influential people. Beyond industry honors, Bruno Mars holds several Guinness World Records, including the most viewed halftime show and the fastest-selling tour in North America for a solo male artist. His songs have amassed billions of streams, and his albums have sold tens of millions of copies worldwide. Critics consistently praise his vocal ability, production quality, and ability to create both infectious pop hits and soulful ballads. His influence reaches across borders and generations. Whether it's topping the charts or performing for presidents, Bruno Mars has become one of the most decorated artists of his era. With a career that spans hit songs, sold-out tours, and brand partnerships, Bruno Mars has amassed an estimated net worth of over $175 million. His financial success isn't just from music, it's also from strategic business moves and endorsements. Bruno's world tours have generated hundreds of millions in ticket sales. His 24K Magic World Tour alone grossed over $370 million, placing it among the highest-grossing tours of all time. He's partnered with brands like Pepsi, Enjoy e-cigarettes, and most notably, Lacoste. In 2020, he launched a 1970s-inspired fashion line with Lacoste under the pseudonym Ricky Regal, blending music, fashion, and personality in a fresh way. Behind the scenes, Bruno has racked up impressive royalties as a songwriter and producer. As part of the Smeezingtons and later Shampoo Press and Curl, he's written hits for Adele, CeeLo Green, and others. He also ventured into business ownership, rumored to have invested in real estate and production companies. His ability to diversify revenue streams while maintaining artistic credibility is part of what makes him a rare breed in entertainment. Few artists are as celebrated for their live performances as Bruno Mars. His shows are a mix of tight choreography, raw vocals, and non-stop energy. Critics often compare him to legends like James Brown and Michael Jackson. His Super Bowl halftime performances in 2014 and 2016 became iconic, particularly his drum solo and electrifying vocals. These shows drew record-breaking viewership and brought Bruno's old-school showmanship to new audiences. In 2016, his 24K Magic World Tour kicked off and would span over 200 shows worldwide. With sequined outfits, synchronized dancing, and retro funk aesthetics, every show was a party. Meticulously rehearsed, but never lacking soul. He has also held several Las Vegas residencies, including a long-running show at Park MGM. These performances gave fans an up-close experience with his artistry and solidified his status as a top-tier entertainer. Whether at Madison Square Garden or a small award show stage, Bruno Mars brings intensity, precision, and joy to every performance. His legacy as a live performer is not just about spectacle, it's about skill, passion, and connecting deeply with the crowd. Despite his fame, Bruno Mars leads a relatively private and grounded life. Known for being laid back and humorous, he often avoids the limelight when not performing. He values his privacy and rarely shares details about his personal life on social media. Bruno owns several properties, including a luxury mansion in Studio City, Los Angeles. His home reportedly features a recording studio, home theater, and resort-style pool. He's also rumored to own property in his native Hawaii, a place he often visits for relaxation and inspiration. He has a passion for fashion, often sporting vintage-inspired suits, sunglasses, and accessories that reflect his retro style. His car collection includes luxury vehicles like Rolls-Royce, Cadillac, and a customized Cadillac Alante. Mars is also a fan of poker and has been seen at high-stakes games in Las Vegas. While he enjoys the spoils of success, Bruno remains down-to-earth, often joking in interviews and maintaining close ties with his childhood friends and family. Bruno Mars has been in a long-term relationship with model and actress Jessica Caban since 2011. The couple met at a restaurant in New York and have been inseparable since. Jessica, known for her elegance and low-key public presence, has supported Bruno throughout his career. They lived together in Los Angeles, often keeping their relationship away from the tabloids. In interviews, Bruno has spoken fondly about Jessica, crediting her with being a source of stability and inspiration. While they've kept plans for marriage private, fans often consider them one of the most enduring couples in the entertainment industry. Bruno Mars is not just a musician, he's also a philanthropist. He has donated millions to various causes, often quietly and without much fanfare. He contributed $1 million to the Flint water crisis recovery efforts and donated meals during the COVID-19 pandemic. His support extended to disaster relief in Puerto Rico, the Philippines, and Hawaii. Bruno has also supported education initiatives and music programs for underserved communities. His philanthropic efforts often focus on giving back to the places that shaped him. He remains vocal about his pride in his Puerto Rican and Filipino heritage, often using his platform to spotlight diversity and unity. Bruno Mars's journey hasn't been without obstacles. In 2010, he was arrested for cocaine possession in Las Vegas. The incident could have derailed his career, but Bruno faced the charges head-on, took accountability, and completed his probation without incident. He later addressed the incident in interviews, emphasizing personal growth and responsibility. Fans appreciated his honesty and maturity. He's also faced accusations of cultural appropriation due to his blending of genres traditionally rooted in black music. Critics questioned whether his success was built on styles created by others. Bruno has responded by always acknowledging his influences and giving credit to the artists who paved the way. He often honors those genres with deep respect, helping introduce them to new audiences. Through it all, Bruno Mars has shown resilience, turning setbacks into lessons and criticism into growth. Today, Bruno Mars remains one of the most respected artists in music. His work with Silk Sonic brought a new wave of retro soul to the mainstream, winning awards and captivating audiences. He continues to collaborate with top-tier artists, work on new music, and refine his live shows. Rumors of a new solo album and world tour swirl among fans, keeping anticipation high. Mars also continues to evolve as a producer and mentor, working behind the scenes to shape the sound of the next generation. As an artist, Bruno Mars is always pushing forward while staying true to his roots. His legacy is still being written, one soulful note at a time. From the ukulele strums of Waikiki to Grammy stages and stadium tours, Bruno Mars's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. He's not just a performer, he's a craftsman, a storyteller, and a cultural force. In a world of fleeting fame, Bruno Mars stands as a symbol of timeless talent. With his voice, vision, and heart, he's given the world something rare: music that moves the soul and performances that stay etched in memory. If you enjoyed this biography, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more documentaries.